James Harden could be on the move. The Clippers star could be on a new team by as soon as today. We've got the latest Lakers trade buzz. Should the Lakers stand pat? Also, Giannis Antetokounmpo could be on the move. And if he doesn't get traded, is that good for the Lakers? Also, we're talking about the future for the Los Angeles Rams. Who will be the quarterback after Matthew Stafford? 3 trades the Rams should consider making this offseason. And new head coach for UCLA, Bob Chesney, could have the Bruins cooking next season. Is he the Bruins guy to take them to the next level? And Puka Nacua shoots his shot. All that more coming up next on the LA Sports Report.
LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
Go, Kings, go. What is up and welcome to the LA Sports Report, the fastest growing all LA sports show. I'm your host, Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. I've covered LA sports for over a decade. I'm loyal to the soil. This is really the dream show where you get all of your favorite LA teams, all the hottest stories in the same place at the same time. And we've got a new time, a 10 a.m. start, a morning show. So get caught up on all the latest. Well, your Dodgers, your Lakers, your Rams, your Chargers, USC, UCLA. Got my UCLA sound here. Got the 8 clap rolling here. We'll talk some Bob Chesney. I heard some really interesting things about what's going on in Westwood. Don't worry, Trojan fans. We got some fight on too, okay? All right? I want Mekhi Lemon on the Rams. So I'm not biased here. Got some new sounds today. I'm joined. Got my guy, Noel Sanchez. Might talk some hoops with Noel. He's rocking with us. We'll check in with him. We'll talk about the Lakers. We'll talk about the Clippers. We'll talk about Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers had Fan Fest. If you're new to the channel, by the way, do me a huge favor. You only have to do this one time. It's not like you have to do it every show. Only one time, hit the subscribe button, but you can drop a like for every single episode. And if you really want to support the show, drop a comment down below. Today's LA Sports Report question of the show: should the Lakers stand pat at the trade deadline? And if not, who's the number one target you want to see them go after? But we're going to start with Puka Nacua, who has shot his shot at Sydney Sweeney. Here, give a listen to Puka Nacua, who has a date lined up with Sydney Sweeney this week, according to him.
You a list of people, and I want you to tell me who you would go skydiving with, okay? LeBron James.
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani.
100%.
All right, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
SGA, I'm a hooper. I know, I'm not doing SGA.
Oh, no, you're not going with SGA. Okay, I got you. Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. I have reservations for us on Wednesday, actually. But
Is this breaking news?
no,
Are you going to wear those glasses when you go skydiving with Sydney Sweeney?
Oh, I'm planning on.
So you hear that right there. Puka Nacua, the Rams all-pro, Pro Bowl wide receiver, is shooting a shot with Sydney Sweeney, and he's making a play on, look at this shot right here, shooting a shot. Shooters shoot. That's certainly from deep, but hey, he's got a better shot than most. He is an NFL superstar. And the other day, Complex, they dropped an interview, and the tweet read, Sydney Sweeney opens up about what she looks for in a partner. Athletic and outgoing and funny. I'm a sporty girl, so someone needs to be able to climb a mountain with me, go skydiving with me, and someone who loves her family. I love myself a man. And he quote tweeted and said, love skydiving. So how about that? Puka Nacua shooting a shot with Sydney Sweeney. And if you look at Puka Nacua in his career, he's always defied the odds. He was the 4th pick in the 5th round for the Rams. He was someone that no one thought was going to even make an NFL roster, let alone be one of the best receivers in the sport. This is what he does. He makes the impossible possible. And don't tell me that NFL players can't get superstars. Josh Allen is married to Haley Steinfeld. You've got Travis Kelce is getting married to the biggest pop star in the last 10 years. I remember when Aaron Rodgers was with Shailene Woodley. It happens. It happens. So I want to see this. I really do. And we know that Puka Nacua has made some off the field headlines in his stream with Aiden Ross and Neon. But really, this is my dream. This is my dream right here. Sydney Sweeney, this is my dream to go on a date with Puka Nacua, is what I'm saying. She can live out my dream. I want to go on a date with Puka just to interview him and talk about the Rams, right? So it's pretty awesome. He's shooting his shot, Noel. I mean, you got to love from Puka Nacua.
I respect it, man. I respect it. I like how it was very subtle. Just, hey, she's looking for someone that likes skydiving. I like to skydive. I did see that she's dating Scooter Braun. They've been spotted together a couple times, so maybe Puka's going to go in there and knock him out real quick and take her on today. But I love to see it. Shout out Puka.
And what he'll probably say to him is, don't let your boyfriend get in the way of meeting your husband, right? And that's what Puka Nacua.
Are you in a relationship happily, or are you just in a relationship?
Exactly. And Puka Nacua is an NFL superstar. So, hey, I'm rooting for your Puka. You may not have won the Super Bowl, but you could win the Super Bowl for the streets. And that would be getting Sydney Sweeney. That could be your Super Bowl this year. Maybe give her a ring. All right, switching gears.
You a list of people, and I want you to tell me.
We're talking Shohei. And during the weekend, Shohei Ohtani, he didn't shoot his shot at the WBC. He got shot down by Dave Roberts, who said that, hey, Shohei Ohtani will not be pitching for Team Japan, the World Baseball Classic. And before that, Shohei had said that, hey, there was maybe a little bit of a chance. He did not completely slam the door shut, but it did open the plan for Shohei in 2026. Here was Dave Roberts shutting down the idea of Shohei Ohtani pitching in the WBC.
Well, he's not going to pitch in the WBC, but he will be ramping up his arm to get ready for the season. And I think for me I don't know how many innings he threw last year, but obviously with a full off season going north of what he did last year.
How did you take that news that he wouldn't be pitching?
I wasn't surprised. So I can't even say I was relieved. I think that he wants to, understanding what he did last year, what he had to go through to then how best to prepare himself for 26 to do both. It just seemed like the right decision. So I wasn't surprised and feel really good about it.
His call?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was absolutely his call. Whereas Yoshi feels that, he wants to take it on and feels good, and we support it.
Dave, what are your early thoughts on how you'll manage Shohei, the pitcher, during the season?
I think that I don't think that, I'm going to manage him any differently as far as each outing. I think there's certainly going to be extra time. It's not a 5-day, 6-day rotation. So there's going to be rest in between. But I think outside of that, it's not going to be the 2-inning, 3-inning governor. I think he's going to be used as a normal pitcher.
So that's what Dave Roberts had to say. But before that, Shohei Ohtani, here's what he had to say about his readiness for the start of the 2026 season as a pitcher.
Him as baby Simba.
In terms of the regular season, yes. But in terms of the World Baseball Classic, I just have to see how my body feels. Continue to see feel the progression and see what happens. So I'm going to be fully prepared as a DH.
So there you have it. He basically left the door a little open, and maybe they talked after this. I'm pretty sure that was not the case. But I've seen people say, this is not cool. We want to see Shohei Ohtani pitch in the WBC, just like we saw in 2023 when he struck out Mike Trout to win Team Japan their third WBC title. And to that, I say he has nothing to prove on the international stage. I think people forget this. Shohei Ohtani, for being this unicorn that he's always been, for being this dream two-way player, Shohei Ohtani really has only been the unicorn for one full season. 2022 was the only year that Shohei Ohtani went wire to wire in his only fully healthy season as a two-way player. He missed just 5 games as the Angels DH. He made 28 starts. He pitched 166 innings, posted a 2.33 ERA. He was 4th in the Cy Young voting, and he came in 2nd behind Aaron Judge for the American League MVP. And it was that year where he really proved that hey, I can do both at a top 5 level. I can be a top 5 pitcher and I can be a top 5 hitter. Then the following season, another great year, really was dominant on the mound at times for most of his starts, and he was really great as a hitter, but he ultimately gets injured. So why on earth would Shohei Ohtani pitch in the WBC if that could possibly mean less innings in the regular season for the Dodgers? Look, I love the WBC. I love the spectacle of it. I love the pageantry of it. But the truth of the matter is he could go out there and pitch a perfect game in the WBC, and it would be incredible, but it wouldn't help his MLB legacy. What would help his MLB legacy is if he wins the Cy Young Award. If he has a great year from start to finish on the mound, and he comes off a second Tommy John surgery with the increased velocity that he has, the dominance on the mound, and that's where he becomes the unicorn. So I like the way they're going to manage him this season. I think it's the perfect team for him because of the depth they have. Think of Shohei Ohtani was on most teams around Major League Baseball. They would try to have him make 28 to 30 starts. You would try to have him go 170 to 200 innings because you would need that just to get a high seed in the postseason, to maybe even make the postseason. But for the Dodgers, they not only have the elite depth as far as aces that you could throw out there, but also you got a lot of young pitchers in the organization that can fill up the gaps throughout the season. So I have zero issues with him not pitching the WBC. In fact, if he did pitch in the WBC, I'd be a little concerned about it just because, let's not forget, this is a player that is doing things that have never been done in the sport of Major League Baseball, as far as a guy that's a 50 home run hitter and a guy that is a dominant pitcher. So this makes sense. His workload and managing that is going to be tricky for the Dodgers to navigate. You could have some time off during the season, but my number one goal for Shohei this season, and of course it starts with winning the World Series MVP and winning other World Series, but selfishly, I want him to go and win a Cy Young. I've been thinking about this and going back and forth on this. And yes, individual awards in the regular season, there's no parades for those. There's no rings for those. Fans aren't going to be dancing the street for those. But if Shohei Ohtani wins a Cy Young after having won 4 MVPs and winning 2 World Series titles and an NLCS MVP, then I think you really elevate him to another level as far as, hey, he is the Michael Jordan of Major League Baseball. He is that unquestioned GOAT in his sport. And really, baseball in general, I think, is missing that. I don't think you really truly have that in Major League Baseball, just because you have the greatest pitchers of all time and you have the greatest hitters of all time. And the greatest hitters of all time in Major League Baseball a lot of times are marred by controversy. If Barry Bonds didn't do roids and he wasn't a plagued player as far as the asterisks that surround him, sure, you could say that Barry Bonds would be the Michael Jordan of Major League Baseball. But guess what? Barry Bonds doesn't have any World Series titles. Ken Griffey Jr., great player, doesn't have any World Series titles. Shohei Ohtani has the titles and the individual accolades to give Major League Baseball something that they don't truly have, and that is the Tom Brady, the Michael Phelps, the Muhammad Ali, the Serena Williams, the Novak Djokovic, just the, hey, close your eyes, think Major League Baseball GOAT, and you think of Shohei Ohtani. So I want to see Shohei pursue a Cy Young this season, and I know that's going to be tricky, and it's going to be tough to make sure he gets the requisite starts and innings pitched, but I think he wants that. I think that there's the team aspect of Shohei that wants to win, and that's evidenced by the deferred money and his commitment to giving his team the financial flexibility to put stars around him. But hey, Shohei's Shohei because of the individual stuff too. And when you're on the mound all by yourself. When you're in the batter's box, you're in the batter's box all by yourself. And he's the star of stars here in Hollywood, in Los Angeles. And I think that could be something that could keep this Dodgers run fresh, right? No one's tired of winning World Series titles. No one's tired of that, right? It never gets old. But the way that you keep things fresh is you're pursuing new stuff, Cy Youngs, and you're pursuing different accolades and getting a three-peat with new people on your roster too, like Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz would be great as well. But we got some breaking news. In the association. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been traded to the Utah Jazz. So the trade deadline is cooking. A lot of people thought they were just waiting for that Giannis domino to drop. Clearly, that's not the case. Clearly, there was going to be moves and some fireworks to be made, and we got a 7-player deal. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz. The Grizzlies are getting Walter Claxton Jr., Kyle Anderson, K.A. Slow-Mo, UCLA, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 first-round picks. The Jazz are getting Jock Landale and Vince Williams Jr. in the trade. You got a couple of days before Thursday's trade deadline. Jaren Jackson Jr., 26, 2-time All-Star, was the Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. Also has 3 years left on his 5-year, $205 million contract. He has a player option for 2029 and 2030. By the way, I feel bad for Rich Paul, because isn't this who Rich Paul wanted to see on the Lakers, right?
Thanks.
Sorry, Rich Paul, but what do you think about this Jaren Jackson Jr. trade?
I mean, the writing was on the wall for this Memphis squad. I feel like that core, John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. ran their course. They had their peak in 2021, 2022, lost Dillon Brooks, lost Desmond Bane. And right now, 4 games out of the play-in tournament, Western Conference is loaded. So, I mean, it makes sense for Memphis. Go out there, get a haul for him, get 3 first-round picks, get some good young players. For the Utah Jazz, you have a really good core now. You got Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., Keontae George looking like the most improved player. So, I think it's a good move for both sides. I think John Morant is 100% going to get traded now within the coming days before the trade deadline. And I mean, most of all, what does this mean for the other stars around the league? 3 first-round picks for Jaren Jackson Jr. What's it going to look like if Giannis gets dealt this deadline?
Yeah, so that's kind of the big connector of all this, is when you get a trade like this, it sets the market. And now we know that, hey, if you want to make a big swing, you're not talking 1, you're not talking 2, you're talking 3 first-round picks. And that always is the case. So we're going to switch gears to James Harden, though. So let's talk some James Harden here. James Harden could get dealt. I'm going to get into this one here because that's a major development. Because James Harden is on a Clippers team that was really starting to roll. And the reports from Shams Charania right now are that both sides are working on a deal that could send to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, by the way, play the Clippers in Los Angeles on Wednesday. And the Cavs are seen as the favorites to get James Harden in a deal that would include Darius Garland. The guard would be a part of that deal, and he would be headed to LA. So Harden, he's missed the last 2 games for, quote, personal reasons. The Clippers got off to this horrific start this season, a 6-21 start, but they're 23-26 all of a sudden. They're 9th in the Western Conference. James Harden has been traded 4 times in his career. 3 came after trade requests. By the way, if everyone stinks James Harden, you're probably the one that stinks because he always wants out. He always wants a different situation, but he goes from Houston to the Brooklyn Nets, the Nets to the Sixers to the Clippers. And here's the thing. I don't think you can win an NBA championship with James Harden on your team as the number 2 best player on that team. Number 3 would be debatable. I would go as far as to saying I don't think that would contend for a trophy. Maybe a Western Conference Finals or an Eastern Conference Finals trophy, but an NBA championship with James Harden as your primary scorer, those days never existed, really. I mean, if Chris Paul's hamstring doesn't get pulled in that series against the Warriors, maybe it's a possibility. But look, he's still someone that can help teams out there. He's averaging 25.4 points per game. That's his highest in a season since that Houston year in 2020 and 2021 when he had the bubble season. He played 44 games this year. He's averaging 35.4 minutes. So he's still playing. He's still hooping. He's still scoring. But the difference this time around is James Harden, he can veto any trade because he's only under contract for this season. The second year of a 2-year, $81.5 million deal they agreed to in the offseason is a player option. So it's not fully guaranteed. So that's really interesting. This is the big first shocker of the NBA trade deadline. And if James Harden gets moved, what does that mean for the Clippers? How would that leave Kawhi Leonard, who has been snubbed? He should have been an all-star for LeBron James. Let's call that what it is. And also, they both collectively have got the Clippers back into the playoff picture. And it's really interesting to hear some of the reporting on this. Ramona Shelburne and Shams Charania have been reporting about how the Clippers have handled this and how the scene has looked at the Intuit Dome for the Clippers. And on Monday night said Harden was nowhere to be found, missing a second consecutive game for what the team called personal reasons. That he had perhaps played his last game for the Clippers, though, was not a secret on the floor. Players from both teams, the Clippers and the Philadelphia 76ers, whispered about the situation before the game and even chatted before tip about the concept of him ending up in Cleveland. With a handful of Clippers players wearing Harden's signature shoes, which is normal, LA fell down 16-2, looking flat out of the gate. So it was a second night of a back-to-back, but it looks like James Harden could be gone. It felt like this team was almost sending a message in that performance. So is this related to the Kawhi controversy? Is this related to him wanting to go to the Eastern Conference? It's a lot of questions need to be asked here and answered here. And the bottom line is that core that head into the season, a lot of people with Collins and Kawhi and Harden, a lot of people had the Clippers as a sneaky contender in the Western Conference, but it looks like they're in the process of going in a different direction. I see people in the comments talking smack about the Clippers, saying they're not really LA. Okay, come on now. Noel, what do you make of this James Harden Clippers?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the other angle on this. I'm not too mad at him for wanting out. I think if you look all around at this Clippers situation, at his future, he's 37 years old. He probably has one more decent payday in him. And I think he knows the Clippers aren't really true contenders. The best version of Kawhi Leonard that we've been seeing this year probably isn't going to stay healthy going into the postseason. It's taken a historic turnaround for them to even be in the play-in playoff picture. And the reports are that he asked the Clippers for an $80 million extension, 2 years, $40 million each season. They weren't going to bite on that. And also, I think if a Cavs trade has to go through, then he would have to take a 15% trade kicker. So he'd be taking less money to go to another team. And that's where the no trade clause comes in. He's going to want to go to a spot that he prefers. So, yeah, and you bring up the Kawhi thing. There might be reports coming into him that Kawhi might get suspended after this All-Star break. they probably wouldn't do it before the All-Star weekend because it's being hosted at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. So that would be really bad press for the team, bad for the stadium. But yeah, I think that even though he's had a really bad record of wanting outs, this is one of those situations where he's thinking, this is like the last stretch of my career. Not only do I want to win, I also want to get paid. If you look at Cleveland, that's a good team. Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. And if LeBron James signs in the offseason, go to the Eastern Conference, a weaker conference than the West, then you're in a pretty good spot for Harden.
Yeah, I mean, the strip clubs in Cleveland aren't as good as the ones in LA, so that's going to be a drawback.
Man, he's a family man now. I don't know if you saw starting five, but he's locked in with the girl now.
Yeah, that's good PR. Good PR for him. But I mean, look, the truth is, I think that both parties are right in this. I mean, the Clippers, they're just selling on a guy. They have no plans to re-sign. Yeah, they're selling on a guy that they are going to extend. And Garland, he's young. It's a buy low opportunity, decent contract. This is a smart move for the Clippers. And I think this is a smart move by James Harden, who is trying to go to a team that could give him a better opportunity to go deeper in the playoffs. I think you're absolutely right about the Kawhi Leonard angle of this, the aspiration fake tree thing. James Harden's trying to make like a tree and leave.
Even Kawhi, when you look at how he's been playing, he might have word that he's going to get released from this contract, and he's playing for his next contract with another team. The numbers that he's putting up, the way he's came back, and he's led this team on a resurgence, they might know where this is going already.
Exactly. And the Clippers, the thing about this is the thing about this is this. Like, the Clippers are 15-5 in the last 20 games, and they have pieces. They have chemistry there. But I think if you're the Clippers, they need picks, and there's going to be teams that are dumb enough to give up picks for James Harden at this stage of their careers. And I'm not mad at it. Like you said, I mean, you look at that Cleveland team. If the Cavs get Harden, it'll be dangerous. Like Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, you got Jalen Allen, Keon Ellis.
Yeah, they just traded for two really good role players.
They got money for next season.
Yeah.
And hey, all I got to say is if this increases the chances of LeBron James going to Cleveland, by all means, please let James Harden get traded.
Look, remember last year too, LeBron had said he was only going to take a pay cut if the Lakers were able to sign 3 players. James Harden was one of those guys. So he's wanted to play with Harden before, especially like in his later stages of his career.
Hey, that's a good point. And that's definitely something that is valid and relevant here, just because, look, the truth is, like, it's pretty funny because now it's like all of that OKC big three, they're like team jumpers now, man. Like
Shaq.
It's the Shaq rainbow, the rainbow effect. So yeah, I mean, that is pretty hilarious right there. But I mean, we'll see if this trade goes down. I ultimately think it's a move that makes sense for both. I mean, I think Garland is not like a needle mover. I would probably, if I was going to make a list like the worst young stars in the league, I think he's kind of on it, to be quite honest. But I mean, I think it's more of we're just kind of cleaning house a little bit. He's just James Harden. His time has came and passed. Like, it's almost, James Harden doesn't make sense for a contender to me, though. I don't understand this move from Cleveland's side. Like, to me, James Harden makes sense for a team that knows they're probably not going to win a championship, but they just kind of want to be fun and sell some tickets, sell some jerseys. Like, I just can't envision. This is the thing, though. I mean, I guess with the Cavs, you got Donovan Mitchell, and he doesn't have to be that guy. Evan Mobley's that guy. But then we've seen James Harden. It's like, what does James Harden do if the ball's not in his hands 24/7? Like, how can he be a contributor?
That's a good point. And then if you pair him with LeBron in his farewell season, like, LeBron's playing off ball this season with Luka, but that's because it's Luka. Like, to play off ball of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, the Cavs could also look into moving off of Allen's contract this offseason, kind of round out the team a little bit more. But I agree with you. The off ball situation would be kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, the Cleveland's really interesting. I wouldn't want Cleveland to. It surprises me a little bit that this is kind of what they think is their power move. But I think that if I'm Cleveland, getting LeBron James back for a farewell tour, I think is almost the next best thing that's as viable as winning a championship.
Exactly.
And if this helps facilitate that for them, I think they want to feel like, okay, we're tying a bow on the LeBron James experience in Cleveland. And if all he needs to do is finish his career there. If he finishes his career there, You don't worry. You don't think about Dan Gilbert and the Comic Sans and what happened the first time he went to Miami. You don't think of anything other than, hey, this is my third stint here. This is home to me. This is where I am the king. Like, just doing this show for months now, I didn't realize just how many Lakers fans did not like LeBron. And there's a lot of trolls out there. But I mean, there's so many. I think there's a couple factions of the LeBron situation. There's a couple factions of the LeBron situation. And then there's the LeBron fans that followed him from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to LA, that are the LeBron day ones that are going nowhere, that will always hail to the king. And then there's the Lakers fans that appreciate the truth about LeBron and that he picked the Lakers because they were in LA, because he wanted to be in Space Jam 2. He wanted to raise his family here, and he made this franchise relevant, got them another title, and they appreciate that. And then there's just the Laker fans that just don't like LeBron because they don't like LeBron, and they don't think he's going to help them win another championship, and they're ready to see him go, and they're ready to get a fresh start. So I think from that standpoint, it could be time to go a different direction. And here's the thing, too. Like, there's been a lot of reporting about LeBron's future with the Lakers, and it does feel like this is the last year. Like, at this point, I'd be shocked if LeBron is back with the Lakers. I'd be shocked. Like, they're not going to trade him, but it would be an absolute shocker to see him back in LA at this point, just because he's either going to retire or he's going to retire on a different team. Jeff Fisher, he reported, quote, "Definitely the Lakers are ready to move on from LeBron James. And I think LeBron James is ready to move on from the Lakers as well." That's kind of the foregone sentiment in Los Angeles right now about what's to come this summer. So the writing is on the wall. That's legitimate reporting from a legitimate NBA reporter. John Ireland has been saying this for months. I talked to him a couple different times, and they're saying that this could not only just be LeBron's last season with Lakers, but LeBron's last season total. But the question is, I mean, if this is LeBron's last season, does he see this move as some way to get, like, do you think there's any way he could get to Cleveland this year?
No, I don't think it makes sense for Cleveland to do that. The whole gist of this is to make it into his farewell tour, into one last ride with the team. And I don't think he's going to sign some major one-year deal, take up a lot of cap space. We've seen this in the past. The Knicks could have just waited and signed Carmelo instead. They traded away all those assets. Even Anthony Davis back in the day with the Lakers, he wanted to come to LA, but the Lakers wanted to get the deal done when they did. So they went ahead and traded away assets. For LeBron James, who's going on 42 years old, I don't think you go and you trade anyone for him. And his salary is so big right now, you're going to have to trade multiple pieces. It's not going to just be Jared Allen straight up for LeBron. So I think you wait it out, and the ties are going to be there. You're going to have your chance to sit down with him and pitch the farewell tour, maybe with James Harden on the team.
It feels like LeBron would be really disappointed about his farewell tour. Like, it's almost like Elvis going to Las Vegas. Like, and it was like Elvis, you know, he was the biggest king of rock and roll. And like, he was just like this big superstar. Yeah. And then he goes to Vegas, and it's like attendance wasn't what he thought it was going to be. And like, there were some moments.
You're saying he would be disappointed if he stayed with the Lakers, or just in general?
I think with Cleveland, it would be the best case snenario. Yeah. With the Lakers, he'd 100% be disappointed.
But you're saying the Elvis comparison is him in LA if he did a farewell.
I would say it's him in LA, yeah, for sure. I think that there'd be some good feelings towards LeBron if he went back to Cleveland, because it'd be a good story.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that, like, dude, he's been here forever.
Yeah.
Like, dude, exactly. 23 years is so many years.
Exactly.
It's like, man, like it's like I said, I don't like he had the transition dunk where his head at the rim yesterday. The Lakers lost.
Yeah.
Like, no one, that's the thing about, like, the Lakers are the wrong franchise for LeBron to want to go through a farewell tour. They're the one I'd argue say that them and the Celtics are the only franchises, and maybe the Warriors too at this point because they have Steph.
Yeah.
Those are the three franchises that, like, this is unacceptable for their fans. Like, the Knicks might be kind of fun. It's like, oh, cool. Like, truth is, like, we're the Knicks. We haven't won anything since the 70s.
Yeah, we'll take
right. Like,
take
we'll take them in, like, we'll get Twilight Year LeBron, but like, Like the Lakers fans are not going to. First of all, they have Luka Doncic now,
Exactly.
right? And he's an MVP caliber player, so that makes it really awkward. And I mean, what is it? Are we supposed to go watch these video montages and have them look up at the screen and show all these highlights of him against their team?
Yeah.
And then Luka drops 45 and he's the story of the night. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the more like after seeing him get emotional at that Cavs game when they were showing the video montage and just thinking about the contract situation, thinking about the Lakers having their own priorities and rightfully prioritizing Luka, farewell tour in LA would kind of fit that Elvis comparison.
Yeah, it's like for me, like when the Jordan Wizards thing was a little different because when Jordan was with the Wizards, it was just the fact like, whoa, Jordan's playing again.
He's back.
He's back. Like I'll take Jordan dropping 21 a night and then an occasional 40, and he gets a matchup with Kobe, and we just get to see number 23 on the floor again because we did have that for so many years. And you just got to get that closure with him. For LeBron, it's like, dude, like he's just been pedal to the metal, all gas, no brakes for 22-23 season. It's just like, man, it's almost like with Jordan, it was like, hey man, like it's like your favorite artist like dropping albums like well after their prime. Like, hey dude, like I'm still gonna listen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But LeBron, it's like, dude, like you dropping an album like every single year, dude. Like,
good point.
And a mixtape on top of that, you know. And then LeBron did, by the way, invent the deluxe album. Right? He did. Right, with 2 Chainz. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the album, and we're gonna drop the deluxe album. They're like, here go 2 more. Here go 2 more. And that's how LeBron's career is going. All right, we think it's over. Here go 1 more. Here you go 1 more, right?
That's facts.
Like LeBron's gonna be like, like literally LeBron's gonna basically be playing with like Zuri James in some league somewhere. Like it's getting kind of wild. But switching gears to the Giannis trade, this is like turning into our pre-NBA trade deadline special. I love it here. So Giannis, the trade talks have escalated with him. We'll see where that goes. The latest intel on Giannis Antetokounmpo is Shams Charania, of course, is on top of it. He's the guy that was behind the James Harden news break, but he said that the Bucks, will they find the right trade partner for Giannis Antetokounmpo between now and the deadline? If so, could that create a chain reaction around the league? Could that create a chain reaction? Could you see teams like the Warriors, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, the Raptors? Well, Brian Windhorst said that, quote, only the Bucks know the exact landscape. It is possible that general manager John Horst and Milwaukee's front office have the basis of an offer they'd pursue, and it could get serious. Rival teams, however, believe it makes a lot of sense to wait until the summer. The possible big offer for Golden State, a deal that could get Milwaukee up to 4 first-round picks, will likely still be there in June. Meanwhile, the Bucks can wait until they know exactly where their pick in every first-round pick will land, plus numerous possible suitors, such as the Miami Heat, can offer a better package of picks once the league year flips. Now, I'm just going to be pretty emphatic on this. I think the Milwaukee Bucks would be flat out stupid to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo at this trade deadline. Like a player of that magnitude, an MVP with some prime years left, a trade that would send absolute shockwaves through the association. Why would you trade a player now if you think you could get more assets in the offseason? I think if I'm Milwaukee, I am doing everything I can to shut him down this season. And yes, Adam Silver won't be happy about that. Yes, there's CBA language that prohibits things like this. But the truth is, like, he has been dealing with calf injuries on and off. And yes, calf injuries can lead to injuries that are more serious. But if I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo and I'm working with the organization to find my landing spot, unless there is an offer that makes a lot of sense for the Milwaukee Bucks on his desired team, I'm waiting to the summer. Because if you wait to the summer, you can open things up. You can get more teams involved. And if you're Milwaukee, you have a little more clarity on where those picks land. And of course, selfishly as a Lakers fan, wanting the Greek freak in LA, the Lakers can give up 1 first-round pick right now. That ain't going to get it done, obviously. Like, you ain't even getting, like, Kyle Kuzma with that, right? Like, you ain't giving, like, the Milwaukee Bucks ball boy with that. And with today's NBA economy with Jaren Jackson and those 3 firsts, right? So if I'm the Lakers, now we know why Rob's been trying to sneak around to get another first-round pick. That's what it really is about. Like, you're not going to even get Giannis right now with 3 first-round picks. You're going to need 4 first-round picks. But the hope would probably be, if you're the Lakers, does he want to force himself to LA? That's kind of the biggest thing. We had our guy on the show a couple weeks ago, Sam, and he talked about how he heard it's the Knicks, and it's probably a team in the Eastern Conference. But I could see him on the Miami Heat. Miami Heat can offer a better package right now, and then you get a better package. But Tim Bontemps said, one Western Conference executive told me, quote, everyone is preparing for this to happen this summer. Another factor that can inform the offseason Giannis trade talks, the upcoming playoffs, which have a chance to be truly chaotic, eliminating contenders who feel they are 1 star away, could pick up the phone, and Milwaukee could be in position to take full advantage, as another longtime executive has found, saying disappointment leads to action. Yes, you want teams to be desperate. You want teams to say, hey, is Giannis the missing piece that can get us over the hump? And can he take our team to the next level? And he certainly can do that for a lot of teams. So I don't know, Noel. To me, I don't think Giannis is getting traded at this deadline. And I think that it would be flat out stupid for Milwaukee to make a deal.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, especially with those other teams like getting desperate. I can see the Timberwolves getting really desperate. They've been linked to a lot of stars the past couple of years. You think Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, other superstars that have become available. I think they're the team that could put together a sneaky package and really try to aggressively pursue. I don't think Pat Riley will give up a crazy amount right now. And I don't know if the Warriors would be able to put something together. I think before Jimmy Butler got hurt, there was a higher chance, but there is that report that they could include Draymond Green in the package, and then he'll come back in the summer, decline his player option, and then reunite with the guys. So there's a couple of pretty good Western Conference teams that are linked to him. But if there isn't a trade that goes down this deadline, the Lakers' chances just kind of get a lot better going into the summer, Doug. So
that's the biggest thing. I mean, Lakers' chances improve exponentially.
Like, it's crazy. Like, the probabilities should have like 10, 20%.
I would say, and Sam Amick, he dropped what the suspected trade is for the Warriors, and the Warriors' best offer would be 4 first-round picks, a first-round swap, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga. So, I mean, they got to get a 4th pick, and they also got to get some assets that make sense. The problem with the Lakers is they just don't have very many assets at all whatsoever. Dolan Connect is absolutely plummeted his value around the league. Rui Hachimura is on a pretty decent contract. You got some expirings with Gabe Vince. You got a first-round pick. But the truth is, there's no moves to make if you're Rob that can really take this team over the top. And I think that kind of getting back to LeBron James, part of LeBron's frustration probably has to be with the Lakers. Like, hey, man, like, they got me for a year, dropping 21, 6, and 6. And it looks like the Lakers have no intention of going all in. You only go all in when you feel like you're 1 or 2 moves away. Exactly. And yes, this is a franchise that is always going to think they have a legitimate chance at winning an NBA title. But I don't think if you watch this team every single game, if you know what this roster has, that you think that this team has what it takes to win a championship. So I am 100%. In fact, I'd be furious if Rob Pelinka trade that first-round pick. I'd be furious if you gave up assets before Giannis was dealt, because like the basketball gods conspired to get the Lakers stars. And hey, it takes one jersey swap. And once that jersey swap is made, the basketball gods get the message. Facts. And then things start to happen, right? Like every time I see a Lakers jersey swap and I see fans of other teams hating, I say, I dare you to say it can't happen.
Exactly.
Now the question is, would it be a good thing? I mean, of course, it has the potential to pair two of the best players and guys that you think can win a title, but also is the injury risk with Giannis. And if you go all in with Giannis, is that kind of your one shot with Luka Doncic in his absolute prime? And we've seen what the Thunder have been able to do with depth in a roster. And kind of my issue right now with the Lakers is I just don't trust this team to make moves on the margins that can surround elite talent with enough pieces to win.
Exactly.
That scares me.
Yeah, marginal upgrades have been a major issue with the team, and just holding on to and developing their young talent that they draft or that they acquire at a young age. You see all these teams around the league that have gone on deep runs, the Nuggets, OKC, the Celtics. They've been able to hold on to this talent, work their way through seasons that didn't end the way they wanted, and allow their players to get better. That really hasn't been the case with the Lakers in recent years.
Exactly. I think you're 100% spot on with that one. Now let's switch to Lakers targets. Like who, like you just sometimes people want to hear the names, like who could be out there. And before I say this, I do want to kind of point something out. Rob Pelinka has punted the last two trade deadlines, essentially. I mean, the one where they made the Western Conference Finals, retooled the roster. He got rid of Westbrook, brought in D'Lo, brought in Rui. He gets credit for that for sure. And look, Anthony Davis, I mean, I could be the GM of the Lakers and say, hey, let's get Anthony Davis. Let's get Luka Doncic. Like, all that stuff is great. But as you point out, the moves of the margins are not a strength of his. But I have a sneaking suspicion that I don't even think that he has full authority to be making moves for the Lakers at this point. Like, I just don't think that Mark Walter, the principal owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who completed the purchase to be the principal owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, it would surprise me if Rob Pelinka can just go in and do things without their approval. And I think that the Mark Walter, the Guggenheim version of the Lakers, they want a clean slate, and they do not want to be limited by possible moves they can make when they get full control over this organization as they hire more employees and they figure out how to win at the NBA level. So I think Rob Pelinka is a dead man walking. I really did. I mean, when the Guggenheim Group bought the Dodgers, Ned Cleddy had 2 years. It was obvious he was going to be gone. Then Andrew Friedman took over. I think they're looking for their Andrew Friedman right now as far as basketball is concerned. But the truth is, the Lakers are a flawed team. You have Austin Reeves coming back. You have what's left of LeBron James. You have an MVP level player in Luka Doncic. And if you look at some of the rumors around the league, they backed off of DeAndre Hunter. And that was Brett Siegel, the insider, said that the Lakers had been going back and forth on a package that would have involved Rui Hachimura and Dalton Connect being traded for Hunter. The idea of including at least one other team had come up in discussions between the Cavs and Lakers, with the Brooklyn Nets being mentioned by the league sources as a team willing to take on salary and draft picks. Although the Lakers did hold a level of interest in Hunter's skills as a 3-and-D wing, the idea of flipping Hachimura and Connect for him without receiving any additional assets or draft compensation for the final year of Hunter's contract was viewed as a negative. This resulted in Los Angeles taking a step back in discussions with Cleveland. So I think the big takeaway here is that they are making calls. They're looking to improve the roster, but they're not going to make moves out of desperation and get players like a DeAndre Hunter who they think, okay, like what's the true net benefit of that? Like, how much better are the Lakers with DeAndre Hunter than they are with Rui Hachimura? DeAndre Hunter, probably on a worse contract, a less efficient player. And there were some other rumors too that the Lakers were interested in Nick Claxton. So maybe the framework of a deal saw them get Hunter and Claxton. That's probably what I would suspect in that situation. But with Brooklyn, they weren't involved in the deal, so there probably just wasn't enough traction there. Because I just don't think that they would have made that deal just for DeAndre Hunter. I think it had to be like Hunter, Claxton, kind of like that's what Rob likes to do. Like let's get a couple players and really shake things up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, it reminds me of when the Lakers first traded for Rui Hachimura back in the day. That was the first trade, and then they went and they got D'Lo, they got Malik Beasley, they got all these different pieces that kind of reshape their entire roster. They're not just going to make one trade for DeAndre Hunter and call it a day, because he's not the exact 3D piece or the exact wing that would really kind of reshape the roster and give them a new look.
Totally. I mean, and look, we've heard names like Trey Murphy and Herb Jones and guys like that. There goes the picks. And now that we know the Jaren Jackson Jr. deal, well, reportedly, Najee Marshall of the Mavericks is going to require a first-round pick. Like, that's not happening. You can't make a deal like that. So, look, like, here's the thing, too, and we're going to switch gears after this, is if you told me 2 years ago, hey, Lakers have to get bounced in the first round, and they have to maybe get bounced in the first round again, or maybe the second round, but we'll flip out Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, and it'll probably expedite the departure of LeBron James. I feel like, where do I sign? What do I have to do? Like, I'll go 0-82. I'm down to go 0-82 in the regular season for that. Like the Lakers got a player that most franchises never get. Like the Hornets have never, no slight to your boy LaMelo Ball.
Hey, seven game win streak.
Hey, they shout out to the Hornets, man. They're a fun team. And Con Knipple. Like,
he's
come
that
on.
guy.
Like he is that guy. There's going to be dudes who are going to be pattering their game at LA Fitness after Con Knipple. Like, and I hate to see Duke players succeed in the NBA, but man, did you see that? That joke on SNL with Cooper Flagg?
No.
Did you see that joke, BDR, about Michael Che?
Oh, yeah.
About Cooper Flagg?
Yeah.
Michael Che, he was like, Cooper Flagg is the youngest player in history to have, like, how many points to score? Like 49 points at 19 years of age. It's like, what a bad start to Black History Month.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Come on, man.
And then Con Knipple had like 45 that same game.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Michael Che.
We do have some breaking news. D-Mac. Turns out that Mike Conley from the Minnesota Timberwolves is getting traded to the Bulls. So the Bulls will receive Mike Conley and Jaden Ivory. And then the Pistons, it's multiple teams, I'm guessing. Pistons are receiving Kevin Hunter, Dario Saric, and 2026 first-round swap.
Oh, a little 3-team trade.
There you go. Teams making moves, man. Mike Conley's still in the league. Oh, my Lord. Is that already 4-1-3? Yeah. 38, bro. Respect.
So it's interesting. So Minnesota didn't get any pieces back. All they got was the first-round swap.
So maybe they're trying to do whatever they can to get assets.
So now they need a point guard.
Yep.
Rob isn't starting. Hey, John Morant.
John Morant and Anthony Edwards, man. It'd be fun. I'm looking for fun, man, because OKC looks really strong. But, all right, switching gears to just ram it. There we go. There we go. We know Puka Nacua and Sydney Sweeney. Let's try to just ram it. So we'll talk some Rams really quick. And look, I know it's the NBA trade deadline. How about the NFL trades? We're going to spend some more time this offseason breaking these down. But there are 3 potential trade targets that make a lot of sense for the Rams this offseason. You got Trent McDuffie, cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you've got Marlon Humphrey, the Ravens cornerback, and also Jesse Bates III. So those are my 3 cornerback trade options for the Los Angeles Rams. Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, Marlon Humphrey from the Ravens, and Jesse Bates from the Falcons. McDuffie, he's going to be the name that everyone wants to go after this offseason. He's an all-pro talent. He's just 25 years old. The Chiefs' cap situation is not in a good place, so they might consider moving off him. Also, the Rams, if they want to get aggressive, if they want to fight, I think the Rams need to find a proven cornerback, because you don't draft a cornerback And look, there are examples, but for where they're at in their build and their roster build and their contention window, I think they got to go out there and get a big established cornerback. And that's number one on my list. You got Marlon Humphrey. He's kind of like an older version of McDuffie. And for the Ravens, he's really good on the outside. He's really good in the slot. He can play man-to-man against really talented receivers in this league. And yes, the age is higher, but the prospect capital, the capital cost will be a little less as far as draft capital you have to give up. And you could also look for a safety to trade. You got Jesse Bates. You could trade him. You could offer Atlanta some cap relief. And the Rams, they get a nice veteran, and you put him alongside Cameron Kinchins in the secondary. So the secondary is 100% the Rams' biggest need in 2026. They absolutely need to address that position, and those are three guys just warming you up. 3 trades I want to see make. Now, as far as the Rams quarterback of the future, Sean McVay did say that find one on the scrap heap and develop him. You can take a reclamation project, but it's not easy to find elite quarterback play. And that really has been the difference for the Rams with Stafford and the Rams with Jared Goff. So we're going to kind of spend a lot of time this offseason. It's almost going to be a series. Who will be the Rams quarterback after Matthew Stafford? I'm going to try to nail that. I want to get on tweets saying this guy knew, right? I'm doing deep dives, just throwing out every possible veteran quarterback. Could it be Tua Tagovailoa? No. The Dolphins are expected to release him. Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, Justin Fields? No. Kirk Cousins does have a McVay connection, and McVay could potentially try to resurrect Tua Tagovailoa's career. But dude has gotten hit way too many times. He got hit 76 times in 4 years. I mean, Justin Herbert's got hit 75 times. Geno Smith, other option? No. Free agent quarterbacks. Some free agent quarterback options for the Rams. Daniel Jones from the Colts. Aaron Rodgers. Malik Willis. Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz. Jimmy Garoppolo. Joe Flacco. No. The splash moves are what I'm focused on. Joe Burrow, that's the number one name on my list for Matthew Stafford's successor at the quarterback position. He's not happy in Cincinnati. They're not in a good spot with contracts. And trading for Joe Burrow is just the kind of thing that the Rams might do. Even if it takes 4 first-round picks. That would set them up for another decade. Sean McVay just signed a new contract with the Rams. I think Joe Burrow is the most likely of the splash moves. Lamar Jackson, we've never seen Sean McVay with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. What would that look like? It'd be tough to envision that. Other names: J.J. McCarthy, no. Jador Sanders, no. Bryce Young, no. Anthony Richards, no. But I do know that you're going to extend Matthew Stafford for at least one more season if he wants to return. And then you really start the process of making sure that you're not emptying the tank on your assets and you're looking at the future. So we'll throw out Josh Allen too. I would not be shocked to see Josh Allen wearing a Rams uniform, but they're going to find a way to get a superstar quarterback because they know that's the formula. Okay, Bob Chesney. We're talking UCLA. Give me my A clap. Ready? LA. See. Boom. Just add that sound drop today. I want to talk some Bob Chesney. Tell you what I'm hearing out of Westwood. Bob Chesney was at Poly Pavilion over the weekend. They introduced Chesney, and he did what you want to see a new coach do. He said they're going to win the Big Ten. And in a conference that has Ohio State, Michigan, and Indiana, and Kirk Cignetti, for him to make a bold claim like that in Westwood, that was saying something. But here, give a listen to Bob Chesney getting introduced at Poly Pavilion.
Growing fans, a new era in Westwood is here. Bruins, Steve Shortness, and giving a very special welcome to your new head football coach, Bob Chelsea, and Northeast football. Thank you all. The best staff in the world, we're going to love you guys. I've been here for about a month now, and I look around, and there's nothing average that I see about UCLA. There is nothing average. And I did not come here to be average. This is the key to the future. That future starts now. Go Bruins!
Bob Chesney, inject that into my veins. And the recruiting's better, but the culture is better. From what you hear about Bob Chesney is people just want to work in that building now in Westwood. And he's doing a lot of recruiting. He's trying to really establish his roots in Westwood, and he's trying to get local recruits and building a pipeline. And will UCLA win the Big Ten? That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. A lot would have to happen, but this has been the best coaching hire that UCLA has made probably ever. Like, really. And for Bob Chesney to hit the ground running the way that he has after Deshaun Foster, it says a lot. It really does. And UCLA to win a Big Ten championship in the first year is an absolute bold claim. It really is. But it just tells you the kind of expectations that they have. Chesney called his UCLA coaching staff the best staff in the world. And look, he was a leader at James Madison. He hired offensive coordinator Dean Kennedy and defensive coordinator Colin Hitchcler. And like the James Madison crew has shifted over. He also hired offensive line coach and run game coordinator Chris Smith, defensive backs coach Eddie Whitley Jr., safeties coach Anthony DiMichele, defensive end coach Sam Daniels, special teams coordinator and tight ends coach Drew Cannon. All 5 assistant coaches were also with James Madison. So what gives me a lot of excitement and confidence about this is he's going with proven commodities and guys that he's worked with. Yes, it's very different to win at James Madison than it is at UCLA in the Big Ten Conference, but do not sleep on the Bruins. They've always been a sleeping giant. And now we're in this era when it's not about, oh, the history and this and that. It's about, hey, how committed is your NIL? And UCLA is top 6 in NIL in football now. You got a great coach. You got potential there. It's just about going out there and getting those big wins. Now, you look at UCLA's schedule for 2026. Can he win the Big Ten? Well, you look at how tough it is. I mean, you play at Cal, the Calamony, by the way. UCLA has to pay Cal because Cal got all sad that they went to the Big Ten. You got Cal on the road, San Diego State, the home opener at the Rose Bowl, Purdue at the Rose Bowl, Maryland in College Park, and then Oregon at Autzen. That's tough. October 10th. Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl, Michigan State in the Rose Bowl, Nevada in the Rose Bowl, Minnesota in Minnesota, Illinois at the Rose Bowl. And they go to Michigan, and then they take on USC at the Rose Bowl. So that's a tough schedule. It really is. But you don't have to play Ohio State. You don't have to play Penn State. You have to play Oregon and Michigan and USC. Those are the tough ones. And we'll see. Nico Iamaleava is back with the Bruins. So we're going to talk a lot of UCLA. We're going to break down their transfer portal roster a little later this week. But we're going to wrap today on the 50 worst trades in NBA history. The Lakers were in the top 2. And in a good way, they were the winners of these trades. Number 2 was, this is from the NBA, the Bucks traded Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Lakers in 1975. Lakers get Kareem and Walt Wesley. The Bucks get Junior Bridgman, Dave Myers, Elmore Smith, and Brian Winters. So the Milwaukee Bucks, they're in trade talks again, and maybe they want to have that repeat themselves because Kareem, he was the best player in the league at the time. He had already won 3 MVPs and 1 Finals MVP, and he goes to the Lakers, and he was fantastic. First 11 seasons after the trade, 24.3 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 2.8 blocks, and he won 5 titles with the Los Angeles Lakers. And then the first trade, I'm surprised this is number 1. They have the Mavs trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers. Lakers get Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, and the Mavs get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, first-round pick, and the Jazz get Jalen Hood-Schifino and 2 second-round picks in cash. I mean, this is pretty surprising to me. I mean, let's see how this works out for the Lakers before we make this the number 1 worst trade, because Anthony Davis was a lot better than some of the players they gave up for, well, I guess now he's injured, but at the time. But, I mean, Luka was arguably the most valuable trade asset in the NBA. Can make that case. I think Wemby probably takes the cake over him, probably. But I think why this probably gets the number 1 spot is just the fact that Dallas didn't negotiate with any other teams. And that's probably why this gets the worst trade of all time, is Mavs sending Luka Doncic to the Lakers. You had, see what other ones. You had other Lakers trades on there. Oh, God, the Clippers trading SGA.
What about the Westbrook trade?
Westbrook trade, I don't think that's the all-time, because that was a bad trade for the Lakers, but it's not like they had to give up, like, everything. Sure. I mean, but it was a bad trade. But, I mean, somebody's like, here's another one for the Lakers. At number 8, they have the Jazz trading a pick that became Magic Johnson. So the Lakers got Magic Johnson and 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick, and the Jazz get a first-round pick and a second-round pick, and you get Magic Johnson ultimately with that. So that was a major L. How about the Clippers, though? The Clippers trading SGA for Paul George in 2019. The Clippers got Paul George in a first-round pick, which they, I guess, needed to get Kawhi Leonard to sign that deal. But the Thunder got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, Danilo Gallinari, 5 first-round picks. Jalen Williams later was selected with one of those picks. They got J-Dub with that and 2 pick swaps. I think this one should be way higher on the list, because that was just an atrocious trade by the Clippers.
People forget PG was top 3 MVP and DPOY the year before, though. He was that guy, and like you said, they needed him to get Kawhi on the team. They thought they were going to go off and win multiple titles. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to seem to be. I think it's because of how vastly the Clippers underperformed with the trade.
I mean, it's a good point. I mean, after the fact, this trade looks worse than it ended up being, no doubt about it. It would have been, but I mean, at the time you would think, okay, you pair Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you could go on a couple title runs, but
exactly.
It's also, but it is also, hey, like, basically what this comes down to is the Clippers having overestimated what they were to get from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Kawhi Leonard ultimately, I think, was a disappointment for the Clippers. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, in retrospect, you would want this one back. And how about coming in number 10? The Hornets trading Kobe Bryant to the Lakers. The Lakers get Kobe and the Hornets get Vlade Divac, a player that smokes cigarettes at halftime for a player in Kobe Bryant. They'll go on to be arguably the best player in their franchise's history. I think it's Magic and Kareem and Kobe and West. It's a debate to be had for sure, but yeah, some bad. The cool thing is the Lakers are on the right side of history on most of these trades, right? They don't have. I mean, they have some bad trades that they've made and some moves that they did not make, but they're not on the all-time list. I mean, how about the Clippers trading? The Clippers just on the wrong end of everything. The Clippers trade a pick that became Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Right? I mean, like the Clippers just, if they had any luck, it's bad luck, man. I mean, that's a bad move. How about this? The Cavs trade a pick that became James Worthy in 1980. Like the basketball God, like God is a Lakers fan. I guarantee you. But I will say, the Lakers trade for Russell Westbrook in 2021, that deserves a spot on this list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lakers get Russ. The Wizards got Spencer Dinwiddie, Aaron Holiday, Bruin, Isaiah Todd, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, and 3 second-round picks. Next, I mean, the Pacers got Isaiah Jackson. The Spurs get Chandler Hutchinson, second round. It was a complicated trade, but it ended up really derailing any chance the Lakers had to win a title with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You had the Westbrook chance. It was just ugly. It wasn't pretty. But that's going to do it for this episode of the LA Sports Report. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_. You know what? Let's read some comments here, by the way. I have one that says Bucks ball boy. His name is Thananis from Travis Schlepp. I love that guy. Showtime LAD. Doug, do you know when single Dodgers tickets go on? So that's a Noel question at this point.
I don't got the scoop on that.
I can't see here. There's one I want to see. Someone asked if Noel's single.
Who asked that?
Who's the name?
Yeah.
Her name was Jean McCain.
Jean McCain? I didn't know her.
That was the username. It
was her birthday recently.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Let me move it.
No, it's left on base too often. Hey, left on base too often is after Noel's single. Is Noel single? I think left on base wants to get to second or third base with Noel. Okay, that's going to do it. We're off the rails here. We actually got Reds just DFA'd Rortvet from Dave. Yeah, we'll talk about that. You bring back Benny Biceps to the Dodgers. We'll talk about that. We got someone talking about Blake Snell's video. What was he talking about? Oh, Jack in the Box.
Yeah, Jack in the Box.
You were there.
I was there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That was a good time. He came a little bit late. It looked like it was just going to be Brusdar and Edgardo for a little bit. But he pulled up, and then it was funny, Doug, because he literally like 15 straight people. He kept doing this thing where when they would pose in front of the counter for a picture with him, he would tap one side of their shoulder and jump to the other.
Oh my God. I love guys like that. You know, Alex Vesey does that in the clubhouse.
Yeah. And there was some people that like, they were so locked down in the picture, they wouldn't notice. So he kept doing it until they reacted.
Really?
Yeah. He was having a great time. But to answer your question, I am not single. I'm sorry.
I like how you like had to, I like how like your good boyfriend instinct just jumped in to make sure you answer that so you don't get in trouble tonight.
I'm inspired by you. You know, you're a great husband, great father.
Hey, that's what we do for sure. You know, I don't really love Jack in the Box. You?
I like items. I like they have like these really good bacon and cheese potato wedges.
I like Shohei in the Box hitting home runs.
All right. I think that's a good pivot to Dodgers Dugout.
All right, guys, join us for Dodgers Dugout Live in a few minutes. Lots to get into, more takeaways from Dodgers Fest. But thank you if you're new to the show. Join the LA Sports Report. It's a movement, tons of giveaways. We're doing live post games after Lakers, Rams, UCLA talk. We're doing tons of interviews here, just getting started. So join the movement. Once we get 1 billion followers, you'll be like, hey, man, we were there like 6K, 7K. Only takes 1 minute to sub. Not 1 minute, takes 1 second. I don't know who sub takes a minute to sub, but thank you guys. As always, my name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And remember that LA is the city of champions.